Hi, I'm Naheen. I'm a 25-year-old first-generation immigrant artist from Ottawa. Growing up, my life was pretty average, but all that changed when I developed a dynamic disability. It all started in 2016. I was writing my university exams when out of nowhere, my right hand started shaking. At first, I thought I had sprained my hand somehow, but then the pain spread throughout my body. Every time I moved, it felt like an electric shock was going down my legs. I tried to continue university with accommodations, but it was too overwhelming. Doctors said the symptoms would eventually go away, but they didn't. In fact, the pain is with me now as I draw this straight line. Eventually, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and then in 2020 with myofascial pain syndrome. Fibro and myofascial pain syndrome are musculoskeletal pain conditions that impact movement, sleep, memory, and mood. These are considered dynamic disabilities. That means the symptoms fluctuate in severity. Some days it literally feels like my body has turned into concrete. Other days I feel totally fine. My pain floats away like a faded memory. I'll explain it like this. Living in this body is similar to living through the pandemic lockdowns. Many people felt out of control. Their plans were canceled and they were confined to their homes. That's what living with a dynamic disability is like, learning to accept the uncertainty of every day. That was difficult for me to accept because I felt like I must have done something wrong. Throughout my childhood, I was taught that with the right diet, exercise, and routine, the body could heal itself. I'd hear comments like, "You're way too young to be in so much pain. You're just being lazy. You're not doing enough physical therapy." From doctors, family members, and even strangers. Comments from my family were especially hard. As a child from an immigrant family, the expectation was always that we'd come to this country for a better life. I felt like a burden because I was unable to live up to their standards. Initially, I thought if I could just push myself, then I could be normal again. So I pushed through the pain and regularly collapsed. One by one, my favorite activities like making art, doing my job, and hanging out with friends became too painful to enjoy. I'd scream at my body, "How dare you betray me? You're the one thing I trusted." It felt like it was at war with itself. My body became the center of unpredictability and chaos. Because of all this, I've struggled with my mental health. I decided I had two choices. I either spiral into self-hatred or live a life of self-love. I chose the latter. Now it's been 6 years since the first pain flare. I've learned to change the way I talk to my body, which meant shaking away the negative beliefs I had once held about myself. Instead of fighting against my body, I learned to appreciate the chaos in all its spontaneous beauty. Within chaos is destruction, but also miracles. Good things do happen in life's randomness, like dandelions growing from the cracks of the sidewalk. I learned a major lesson. Only I can advocate for myself, and that somewhere out there, joy was waiting for me. Through all this, I've come to accept that disability is not my fault. It just happened. It's beyond my power and beyond my control. There's so much internal turmoil for those of us with dynamic disabilities. By offering this peek into what's happening in my body, I hope others learn what's going on inside millions of people's bodies every day. Behind our smiles, we have a lot going on. Be kind.